Now, for you other ones, you nayers, that's what we call y'all nayers, and y'all dark so-called products, you're gonna have to pass some house paint first. You're gonna have to do some real serious tests. I mean, some real serious freaking tests before we even consider you to be a house paint. I'm sorry, screen paint. My fault. Slipped the word there. But it is what it is. And two, you can back your products up because you have no tests under your product. So this stuff over here, these other companies have tests. So this is what we find interesting about their products, but you guys don't have any tests at all. I can name a couple of tests you haven't even done yet. So that's why we put down professional ambient light rejection technology. Let me explain something to real quick about the Frankenstein real quick. That's supposed to be an ambient light rejection paint. You do know that, right? Because it's that dark. Usually darker screens are the ambient light rejection technology. The fact that it's not ambient light rejection is a huge major red flag because darker screens are equipped with ambient light rejection technology because they can absorb more light. They work much better with that technology than lighter screens. But the fact that you have that product and it's not dark, but it's like charcoal gray and it doesn't have ambient light rejection technology attached to it, that's pretty bad. That's a huge red flag showing right there that the reason why it doesn't have it there is because say if you were to take this ring and you put it in a fully lit environment and it has some issues with not being able to push out enough white light and the screen goes dark on you. There you go. So that screen should literally be ambient light rejection, being that dark. But the problem is it doesn't receive white levels all that well. Now, if you want to argue about that, mind you, got a sample sheet downstairs of your product that I found when I was digging through the shop, when I was getting everything cleaned up downstairs, and we got a large sample sheet of the UV in, not the Frankenstein, but the UV down there. And judging by both containers side by side, when I did get the Frankenstein, they look exactly the same. So, they're both on the same reaction. All right, how many demonstrations have you done on gray versus gray house paint? You haven't done any tests. Your website clearly shows you haven't done anything at all. And those who do have a little bit more information than others, you don't have any way of backing your products because I have yet to see a demonstration of these items being backed. So, no. If you were to call one of those companies and tell them about that stacking system, they would laugh in your face. They would literally laugh in your face. And they would say, show me. You can't show them because it's not real. So, if you want to test that theory, you know who the philosopher, call Goose Green, contact them, tell them about your stacking system. Tell them the same thing you said on the video, say it to them, and then back it up. Because, customers can sue you for fraud for that. You know that, right? If you can't back up what that screen is designed to do, a customer can take you to court for fraud if you can't back it up. And they're going to have you try to, or in court, you're going to have to prove that your screen does exactly what you advertised it to do. That's misleading the customer. It's false advertising. So you have to back that up. So a lot of people think you can just come on camera and just spit out a whole bunch of words. Sound like they're reading from a Star Trek script and don't have to back it up. No, you have to back it up. If a customer buys that, they do that stacking system. If they decide to break it down and do their own test and it doesn't come up the way it's supposed to, you're going to have problems. And especially if you don't have tests backing that product. Ooh, something's going on coming out. We're going to be outside today. They don't say that in their vocabulary enough. So you got to back it up. Mr. Sun, Mr. Golden Sun, please come out and play. Chase all the clouds away. Yep, you're going to have to back it up.
Now changed as far as, the approach. The approach really now is to highlight the areas that Ken Bird has actually lied about our application process, the things that he stated and interjected to try to spook people away from purchasing from Partey. So that is the reason that the video is a little bit different and the reason that it took a little longer to get there. But this should answer all the questions. It's actually pretty simple. The most difficult thing for me is actually finding the time to do, say, a video of this length, because while the video is only about 15-16 minutes, it took me a little over a couple hours to fully put everything together and get it out there. So just wanted to say that's the information. If you have any questions, always feel free to reach out and we'll be glad to answer. You guys take care, and I hope you enjoy the video.